Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Yeah. All right. It's Friday. It's Friday, and you're in the school. We'll get you through this. We'll get you through this. My name is Bob Lear. I'm the band director. It's been my passion for 25 years here at Woodstock High School. So I've loved 90% of it, but seriously, it is a very rewarding profession being a teacher. So I look forward to getting to know and sincerely getting to know you guys as new families coming aboard. I know we have some returning families in here tonight, but we also have some brand new families. So I can be long-winded, but this is a meeting that I should not be. I've got to be quick and to the point tonight. I hear some people going, here. Okay. Okay, so tonight we are going to go through a lot of information. Now, everything that we're going through tonight, I'm an email away. My leadership team's an email away. You get home later tonight and you think of a question, please, there's no dumb questions. Or there may be, but we won't make you feel bad about it. So just please, we were all where you're sitting at one time, so we know the newness of it. It's a lot. So tonight we are also going to record. So for any families that couldn't be here, they're going to be able to look back on this. Or if you get really bored this weekend, you can watch this over again. The first thing is here's all the bullets that we're going to go through tonight. Health forms, boosters, financials. How much is it? How much time do we really have the time for our kid to do this activity? Okay? It is a time-consuming activity. Nobody's gonna hide around that fact. But it is such a rewarding activity. When you get through high school and you look back on it, this is some really good material. I'm a little partial, but it is. So these are just some of the things that we're going to cover tonight. Next slide. So that's me. It looks like Laura, but it's Lear. Trust me, it's German. That's what my family's told me, so I'm going to go with it. Our color I actually have two people that work very close to me. I don't have an assistant band director. I'm not moping or crying about that. It's just what it is. And at this stage in my life, I'm okay with that. But there's two people that work real close with me. And one is the color guard sponsor, and the other it's an assistant band director stipend position. They're not in the band room, but they're a person that will work with me. We are currently in the recruiting stages. We actually, as of today, have two brand new bites for these positions. But we have Miss Sydney Hands, who has been that person, is getting married next week. And she's not here tonight. She is in preparation mode. So that person is to be announced, hopefully very soon, who will be filling that role. So those people will be with me as we go through the year. My right-hand leadership team are the parents that are with the executive committee of the Booster Club. Those people will each be speaking later tonight. They're Chris Saxon. Just throw up a hand real quick. Chris is our president. We have Ryan Casper. He is our vice president. We have Tasha Lamar. She is our treasurer. And the most important position of all, she handles all the money. Yes. And then our secretary, Miss Mindy Hagan. And you'll also find out that those people also have some other duties that they work on too, as well as numerous committee chairs that we have in our program. So I'm going to say this now, and it's something we say ad nauseum in our band program is check the calendar, check the website. Our website is ran by a very good webmaster. It's not me, but I do work very close hand to hand with that person, Mr. Ruben Melendez, who is, he's helping feed pizza to the students. There we are. He is one of our main person for all of our social media things that we do. But calendars, they're real important. You will know at the beginning of the year when the May spring concert is if you're in the band class. You will know we already know now all the practice dates and everything. The only thing we don't have locked in are where the competitions are. But we have dates for the marching band competition. So if you're ever like, I wonder if we have a practice on fill the blank, all you got to do is go to the band website. The next thing that is on my list to talk to you about, being the county employee, I want to talk about this, is a site called Rank 1. All the students have to go through a physical to participate in the marching band. So if you're here tonight, you're just thinking, I don't know if marching band, maybe just class, the Rank 1 site is strictly for people who are going to do the marching band. All it is a platform for you to upload documentation once your student gets a physical. And the doctor basically checks them off saying that they are healthy, they're good to participate in your program. As you know, if you've been a parent of sport activities, they're going to cardiovascular check them out, hearing, their back, they're going to check spine. You can go to your primary doctor and you can get it done there. You can go to a Minute Clinic. You can go to CVS, Walgreens. There are many places that will do the physical. Once you get the physical done, it has to be, first of all, it has to be done on the paperwork that is provided on our website, and it's also provided through Rank 1. On our website, there's a tab that says Rank 1, and it will have instructional videos on how to do a lot of what you do in Rank 1. Basically, once you download the forms, those forms are filled out by the doctor, they sign off, and they have to have all the signatures. They will call me if they're like, the doctor didn't date page 3. It's a 4-page document. And I will be told, nope, that kid cannot go on the field yet because there's no date on page 3. So back we go. It'll be denied, and then we'll get it back. So once you make sure it's filled out, you'll go to this platform, you'll take a picture of it, you'll upload it, and it'll be there for an entire school year. They'll be good. So if they do marching band now, and they play baseball in the spring, they've already had it. They're in the system. Okay? And a lot of our band students are involved in athletic activities. So if they get it done now, they're good later. They're already checked off. So that's a good thing. So the main thing is do not wait. If you know after tonight that, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's try marching band. If it doesn't work out after 1 year, we'll not do it year 2 or 3. You'll do it. But you'll see. But if it doesn't work out, get the physical done soon, okay? Later in the slideshow tonight, you're going to see a slide where they have some done by the county, and they're $20 to go to them, which in some cases, that's a cheaper physical than going to other places. And then they will automatically, you don't have to do Rank 1 if you go to a CCSD ran physical. There's 2. It'll be in a slideshow in just a little bit. At this time, again, I will hop in and interject, but there's a lot of portions to tonight. I'm going to pass the mic over to our booster president, Mr. Chris Saxon. Sorry.
All right.
It's been a long day, Bob. Good evening, y'all, and thank you for being here. So I'm just going to do a brief overview of what the boosters are really here for. And you heard Bob mention that it's just him and a couple of staff really supporting. So the boosters' mission is to help provide operational support and fundraising, volunteers, logistics, and things like that for all of our children. So, a lot of things that we cover, we're going to talk more detail about these in a little while as far as fundraising goes, volunteer opportunities, communication channels, and things like that. So, again, we're here to help support our kids, support our programs, support Mr. Lear and the staff, pull off the best marching band program and concert band and jazz band and symphonic band and color guard, winter guard, everything that we have out there. So with that, I want to turn it over to our Vice President, Mr. Ryan Casper, to talk about our communication.
So lots of different ways to talk to us, find out what's going on. I'm Ryan, Vice President, Boosters here. And the big one is this week event. I know Bob mentioned check the calendar. If you want to know how to check the calendar, you get a newsletter every week. The link to the calendar will be on there. Read This Week in Band. If you have a question about what's coming up in the following week, read the newsletter. It'll be in This Week in Band. If you have a question about what you need to be doing, it's in the newsletter. If you have a question, period, it'll be in the newsletter. And if it's not, you can contact Keisha Dixon and she will let you know what you'll need. The last social media, Facebook, big one for us. We have a lot of the general ones on there. You'll see the ones that are public. This Facebook photography one is a great way to get all the pictures of our kids. We have a wonderful volunteer who continues to take pictures for us. I see him back there. And that is a well-deserved applause right there. But that is a closed group, so please, if you go on, search it, look for it. We will get you added. But it is pictures, take all the events, all the different things, so we like to make sure it's band parents and appropriate there. Instagram and YouTube have everything on there, but lots of different ways to follow us on social media. And then email. Big ones are general questions, just the band boosters. We'll get those and answer those. If you do have anything related to money, there is one person in this room that can answer those for you. Gosh, there she is, the most important person out there. And she'll be taking care of those things. Am I passing this off? Yeah, excellent.
Hi, I'm Tasha, and I will be hopefully never having to email you about payments you forgot, because you're going to be so, aware from This Week in Band about everything that's coming up and everything that's due. So one thing that I want to, I think go ahead and go, So we are 501c3, so anything that is donated to us is tax deductible. So if you have any association with any kind of a business, or maybe you own a business, or you're just affiliated, or you have a family member who might want to make a donation to the band, we definitely will take that. And they will be able to make that tax deductible. And I will be super glad to give you a receipt for that. So also personal financial donations. We are capped by Cherokee County at $800 for our dues. And that only covers about 61% of our total costs. So you may wonder, why are we doing this fundraiser and that fundraiser? Well, that's why. We have a lot more money that needs to come in, and if we were at a lot of other schools, if we were down the street in Cobb, it would cost around $1,200 to be in the marching band per student. So just, keep in mind that we really have to come up with creative ways to make up for that, part of our budget. And so we hope, they're usually very fun or very tasty when we sell our pork shoulders and everything. So just please make sure that you participate in those, because we really do need everybody's participation.
So, as we talked about the financial part, we wanted to just go ahead and throw this out and be transparent with it, because a lot of times the question is, well, what am I paying for exactly? So if the $800 pays for the dues, and then what are we raising? We want to give you an overview of what our budget actually looks like and how it's broken down. So overall this year, we need to operate effectively roughly $160,512. These are the main categories out of those budgets. And you can see here at the top, a significant portion of that is for the staff, because, again, the only paid staff really is Mr. Lear. And then there's a little stipend for color guard, and then that kind of assistant director bit. And then for everything else, when it relates to drill instruction, horn line, color guard, percussion, all of those components add up. And so we have a significant bit there for staff. And some of the staff do their job duties throughout the year. They've been here doing percussion camp. They'll be doing guard auditions and things like that next year. Show expenses, those are things so that we can legally perform the show, to keep it copyright compliant and all of this, and make sure we pay appropriate licensing fees. Equipment and transportation. This stuff is not cheap. Justine, I'll throw something out right quick. A marimba costs roughly...
15,000?
Yeah, $15,000 if it had to be replaced. Fortunately, we don't need one of those in the budget this year. But a lot of those components add up: drum heads, cymbals, horn parts, and repairs and things like that. Mr. Lear is going to give you a sneak peek into some uniforms in a little bit. Training, yes, it's coming. There's the hint. Training and recruiting, and those are things like what we're doing right now with our rookie night and having 8th grade night and some of the other events that we try to do to keep fresh students into the program and keep interest alive. And then finally, a lot of the administrative fees. So things, again, with music and copyright, our online payment processing, the MTK subscription, just a lot of services that the band has to fund come out of administrative things. So again, the total of that is roughly $160,000. And how some of that comes about is, again, with a capped program fee that is $800, and that's capped by the county. But there are some other things that may come up here depending on which stage you're at in the program. So we have, I'm going to skip down a couple of lines for marching shoes. The first year for all of our incoming freshmen, that's included in your program dues. But if you're an older student and your feet have grown and you need a larger size, or your kids are just rough on them, you need another one, it's roughly $45 for a replacement pair. We're estimating right now the cost of the white band shirt and the drumline shirt, but those are things that we like to have so that for run-throughs and other events, when we go to elementary schools to perform, they wear the same shirt instead of wearing the full uniform. The meal plan is awesome, and we did this last year with our son. If you haven't done it, I highly encourage it. We have QR codes throughout. Keisha has created, Shevin, right? Has, I'm still learning who does what, okay? You can give me some grace. But our hospitality team has created a brochure so you can see what's included in that. But for all of the away games and for the competitions, and I'm drawing a blank on it, but it feeds your child for all of those events. So you just send them to school and forget about it. So it keeps you from having to shell out, $20 or $30 on those days. It's really good. And if that comes in, some of you are going, but wait, it was like 80 something last year. It did increase because, like everything else, that has increased. I believe we're going to a couple of more away games than last year. So a little additional expense, but if there's anything left over in that account, that does get refunded in the form of either a Chick-fil-A gift card or something similar like that. Senior banners, if you want one of those to hang in the stadium, it's about $20, and then pictures will depend on the price that you, for the package that you select. And speaking of payments, I want to turn it back over to Tasha now and how you pay those.
Okay, so I know that, the economy is not great. I know this is a huge investment. I can tell you that everyone who has had someone come through this program will say it is so worth it. What the kids get out of this, I can't even put into words. I mean, it means so much to them, and it really impacts their life in such an amazing way. And I mean, I would not give hours and hours and hours to be the treasurer if it did not mean so much to my daughter to be part of the color guard and the winter guard. And so we do have a lot of costs that come up at the very beginning of the season. So if you're able to just go ahead and pay the full $800 in, next week or in May or whatever, that's awesome, because that really helps us cover some of the upfront costs that happen at the beginning of the season. But that's totally fine. If you cannot do that, that's totally fine. The first payment of $300 will be due on May 17th, the second on June 14th, and the third on July 12th. Now, you will, when you sign up for the meal plan, you'll pay for that as soon as you put that in your cart in Membership Toolkit. So if you're new and you don't know what Membership Toolkit is, now you will really soon. There are QR codes all over the place out there that you can scan that will take you to Membership Toolkit, and it's very user-friendly. You'll be able to see how to order the meal plan and everything. So you can pay through Membership Toolkit using a credit card. There is a small fee for that, or you can send a check in with your child, and they can put it in a very secure little locked white box by Mr. Lear's office, and I'm the only one that has the code for that lock, so you can be sure that your check's not going to get taken. You can also pay with money order. The only reason we don't like to do cash is because there's no way to track it. We don't want, if you send your kid with cash to school and then somebody takes it out of their backpack, there's no way to replace that. And it's much easier to keep track of if you pay with a check or a money order, or if you pay online with your credit card. So, and I mentioned businesses earlier, but if your family does like charitable donations, consider making us your charitable donation for this year and future years, or partially, because it will be tax deductible, and our program, it's going to add so much to your children's lives. I can't even explain, but anybody who's been through it will tell you how amazing it is. We do have financial assistance available. We have limited funds in that account right now. So another thing that we would love to find sponsors for through any businesses that you're affiliated with is if they want to donate some money to help sponsor a kid to do marching band. But we do have a specific form that you can fill out for financial assistance, and only Mr. Lear and I will know who's applying for that, and that's completely confidential. We don't discuss that with anyone or talk about that. That's your business, not anybody else's. So just please shoot me an email if you need more information about that and you need to know how to apply for financial assistance, because we really don't want anyone who wants to be a part of this not to be able to do it because of money.
Thank you for me, Todd.
All right, thanks.
I'm going to cruise through 2 slides real quick, and we're going to get you some fun how to sign up for things stuff here. But a lot of fundraising opportunities for us. Shot and Kirk's a big one. If you've been involved in Cherokee County at all, you've probably heard of this. But we do sell the tickets. We get a fair amount of those proceeds back to the program. And then Bingo Night, and Bingo Night's a great time to do that. We just did that back in months ago, recently. It was always a fun time. And then Taste of Woodstock's a big one for us. It's a great opportunity that actually we are one of the only band that gets an opportunity this one. We get to do a lot of cool things there. Go down, play, we sell drinks and water for Taste of Woodstock. So always a good time. Like Capital New, all the different things here. Knights of Columbus flags. We wanted to put this up here. It's currently full. We don't have any routes available, but it is a great way to do a fair amount of the fundraising for your fees and dues. So if you are interested in that, you can come talk to us outside, get on a list, and as those come available, it's a great way to help offset a lot of the dues that we have. And then donations. Big thing here is, we will take anything that you guys have. Time, effort, talents, whatever you need. Money's always great too. But, if you have any unique skills, if you can donate a meal, there's a lot of time, and talking to Shevin, she can help organize those, but as people are coming out here, we got to feed these kids all the time. So if you have the capability to do that, if you've got a business that can help with anything that you think is worthwhile, we're always willing to take whatever you guys can offer for us. And then I will say, we'll touch on this a couple times, but time's a big one. The more that you guys can help out with the different opportunities that we have, help these kids run a great program. Like Tasha said, rewarding for them, but a lot of fun for us too. You get to know all the parents. We always have a good time. Get to get out there and help the program. If you don't think there's a way you can help, I guarantee you that there is. I'm the least musically inclined person in this room, and I love helping out every year that I've been here. So I'm going to hand this off to Mindy. You're up.
I got the longest part, but that's probably because this will be my 6th year and I'm bringing in another freshman, so I'm never leaving. Membership toolkit is huge because this is what we use to communicate with you all the time. And so when we checked you in, that was because a lot of us knew that you had already registered your kids. So thank you for registering them for rookie night, but even more, thank you for going in there and putting in a new student, and this is how we know. That symbol down at the bottom, that's the app. Load the app to your phone. Now the information that I'm giving you right now, do not do it on your phone, get on a computer. It's much easier to do it on a computer. But the app gives you what fees you still owe, it gives you the calendar, so when you're sitting there going, can we go do this on a Tuesday night? Not during marching season. Okay, so this is our band website. New user, please create an account. The best part about this is you can add your student to the account too. So you can put their email in, so that I had no idea, Mom, wrong. You knew, okay? They can access the calendar too, which is amazing. If you're a returning user, welcome back. We're excited to have you again. Please make sure that if you already had a graduated kid like I did last year, he's now listed as alumni, I had to add my freshman too. So make sure you add your freshman if you have a new kid. You also, if you're a current user, need to go in and update your child's status because we don't update that every year. You have to go and do it. And it just, sometimes kids move, sometimes kids make poor choices and leave the band. It just is what it is. It's fine. I'm just kidding, we love them all. Okay, so in order to create an account, you have to go in and complete this form. This is your name. This isn't your child's name. This is your stuff, okay? Make sure you have a password. Your kids can create their own password. This is for you only. And the reason why we say just for you only is because if you're paying the bills, you don't want your kid changing the password so you don't know that you're not getting bills. Okay, so this is your account solely. Now you can add a spouse, a parent, or whatever. I highly recommend that if it's 2 households, that both households create an account. You shouldn't share an account, okay? And please let Tasha know if that's something that you have to do because we can make arrangements on that as well. Okay? It will send you an email verification. It's dead serious when it says it's gone in 2 hours, and then you have to contact us, and then it becomes a problem again. So just continue to go through it. It'll take you a good 15 minutes, but once you're done, you're done. So your freshman comes as a sophomore next year. All you have to do is update your account. You don't have to redo this again. Easy enough password. Make sure you remember it, okay? You can reset it yourself though too. Okay, so after you set everything up, here's your parent and student primary information. When it's blue, click on it. The way you know that everything is done is it will have a green check next to it. If you do not have a green check next to it, it's not done. A lot of times too, it will also say in red, undone. So you've got to make sure that you've got to take care of this. It's all your billing items. We also, when you're filling this stuff out, it asks for your volunteer opportunities. Hey, maybe your talent is not talking to people. That's fine. We can use you for something else. If you want to tow a vehicle, I got you. I know how to do that. If you are really good with your hands and you like to build props, we need that too, okay? We have volunteer opportunities all over the place. A big need right now that we have is concession stand, and we have water coolers after school. So if you work from home and you have the possibility to come up here and fill water coolers so that the kids can be on the field, that would be amazing. Primary parent, it doesn't matter who it is, just remember who's the primary parent. It will tell you if you want to change it. Do you hold an executive committee position? No, you don't, because you're not one of the 4 of us. But if you're interested, let us know, because we've got you. Committee chairperson, we do need those. So again, if your talent is to run things and you like to manage, let us know. I got you. Let's see here. Also, on this, you'll see an active student. So the child's name is put in there. Please put in the grade that they're going into, not the grade that they're currently in. And then where it says email address, that's the best part. That's where you put your kid's email address, and they're all set on the account so that they can get all the information. You're going to put in the fall activity status. Please, if your kid is going to be in class band and marching band, go ahead and check that now. If you're a guard parent and you're hopeful that your child makes winter guard, don't put that yet. We haven't had auditions for that. Just leave it blank. Jazz band, not We won't have auditions for that for a while either, so don't put that down either. It's not a want, it's what we already have you listed in. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because it generates fees. And we don't want to have a constant fee on your account if your child is not actually in that activity. We only want to have the fees that you're currently associated with. Do you need to rent a marching instrument? You don't have to rent a marching instrument if your child wants to use their instrument. However, realize that that instrument may be used in weather. We can't control competitions. So if you're okay with that, then we're okay with it too. If you want to rent a marching instrument, there is a fee for that. Please, please pay the maintenance fee. That is a great deal. I had a child that didn't march a bassoon, played a bassoon in class band, and it was literally $50 for somebody just to look at it. It's a $50 fee, you're good to go, okay? And that falls on us. So I highly, highly recommend you pay the fee, okay? And I highly recommend you rent our marching instruments too, just for that reason. Plus, everything's up to date. A concert instrument, that's up to you too, okay? Most concert instruments will, if you're coming from the middle schools, have pretty much already been determined. However, auditions have not been held yet,
That's
correct?
right.
So you don't know which band your kid is going to be in, whether that's concert, symphonic, or wind symphony, but you do know the instrument. So let us know what instrument it is because it helps with planning. Emergency contacts. You have listed 2 parents on there, so these emergency contacts would be great if they were not one of the parents. That way, if we cannot get a hold of you and your kid is passed out on the field, that way we know what to do with them, okay? Make sure that that is up to date all the time too, because we never know when we have to call. The student information, again, gives you all the names. Nobody in this meeting will click alumni, so ignore that. You won't be alumni until your kid is ready to graduate, okay? And then marching status, just tell us which instrument, okay? Again, band class has not been determined. Okay, as far as directory information, this will ask if you want us to publish it. You have the choice if you want it published or not, if we want people to contact you or not, okay? Yes or no? Let's see here. Band newsletter. Yes, you want the band newsletter. You want your student to get that too. Band website. Also, think about the pictures too. We're taking a lot of pictures. Do you want your kid published? If you don't want your kid published, please let us know on that. Band videos and media outlets. There's not very many media outlets that we go with, okay? There are, some of the competitions have published some pictures of our kids and everything else, but really we're not being posted on the news. I mean, it'd be wonderful. Somebody knows. We'd love to be on the news. For good things, for good things.
Right.
Okay? Now see, all of it has been filled out. I've got green check marks. I'm good to go, okay? Now, that's not it. That's just registering your kid in our system. Now you need to go down to the forms that are required for marching season, and there are quite a few of them, okay? This also will show what your payment plan is. You do not have to pay all of the payments at once, but when you give a check to our white box, the first one will be taken off. When you pay a payment, the first one will be taken off. The one thing that you're going to notice is at the top is that it's always going to say you have money in your cart until the whole payment is paid off. When you do send a check to, please label what it's for. It is really hard for us to determine a $550 check. I'm going to apply it all towards your fees. You may have wanted a shirt, but you're not getting a shirt. It's all going towards fees. Let us know. You don't have to write a separate check. Just make sure that we know what you're paying for, okay? On this form, does your student have any chronic health problems? Please, please, please let us know this. This is separate from rank 1. Rank 1 does ask these questions with your pediatrician, but this is an immediate need for our volunteers. When our volunteers have to treat your kids out at the tent, We need to know what we're working with. We're not judging your child. It's not giving out to anybody. It only goes with the chaperones. And it's just to make sure that we are treating your child properly. And if we have an ambulance show up, we want to make sure that we give them the correct information so your child is not treated improperly. Conditions that need special medical attention. Again, we want y'all here. We're not. This isn't taking away from your kid being able to do any of this. Current prescription medications. This may not seem important, but it really is if we have to call a paramedic, because they need to know what your kid is currently on in order to treat them. So make sure you fill that out as well. We also have several over-the-counter drugs that we are able to give your child if you're willing, like ibuprofen, Midol, Tylenol, Benadryl. Benadryl, especially if they get into an ant pile, because we have those out there too. Please let us know if your child's allergic so that we don't give them something that they're not allowed to have. So now I've completed all of my stuff. I have one item in my cart. I'm not done. You need to go up to that cart and check what's in your cart. It may not be a payment. See, it says $0. It says I didn't owe anything. Okay, that may mean you still have something you have to check out. Okay, make sure that that is taken care of. Couple of things. If you're trying to get into, this is just for the website. This is not on your app. The app looks totally different. But my account is going to have all of your information. Okay? It gives you where your forms are. It gives you all the stuff that you filled out. If you have to update anything, that's good. Okay? Go into that. And one other thing with the MTK, as far as your completing your forms, make sure that when you're completing your forms that everything is complete. Because it'll ask you at the end, do I want to save this and I'm not completed? You can do that, come back and do it. Or you can go down and say I've completed it, and then it sends it to us and says this child's ready to march. Okay? That's the most important thing. Make sure it's all completed.
And just one last thing on all the registration. All of those forms did go live right around 6 o'clock. So once you sign in, when you get your account set up, you can go back to that My Account tab on the website or in the app. And under My Forms and Paperwork, you'll see a packet. So if you're going to do marching band, which we hope you will, you'll be able to start filling those out and completing those. And we will post at least the slides no later than this weekend band, this weekend. And we'll do the video later. So don't worry, those of you in the back that are trying to read this, we'll get you a better version. So the last big thing we really want to focus on with you all, we talked a lot about the main part of it up front, the part where everybody squirms and is uncomfortable and wondering if you can do this. And you can, and we want to help you. And if anybody does need help with that, then again, please reach out to Tasha or Mr. Lear, and we certainly want to help. We do not want money to be an issue, a stumbling block for anyone. What we want as parents and as partnering with you all is to help us continue to be the best band organization that we are. And our students are going to put in, I tried to add this up, between band camps, Saturday camps, marching Fridays, the 3-night practices, competitions, roughly 400 hours. That's your students' time. Is going to go into the marching band program. They're pouring their heart and soul out with it. And then if they do concert band, symphonic band, jazz band, wind symphony, winter guard, other things, that's above and beyond that. So this is just the marching band part of it. And so it helps us tremendously to have a little bit from parents every once in a while. And all we're asking is really 14 hours of your time throughout the marching season. And it can be in an hour increment, 2-hour increments. You come and spend all day at a competition, you've knocked off 12 of those 14 hours. But it is a lot of fun, really, and it is super rewarding. We've said that, we mean that from the bottom of our hearts. So we hope that you'll join us and help us continue to have a great program. And some of the opportunities that we have a volunteer interest form, again, a QR code for that. Some of our volunteer leaders are going to be out in the auditorium lobby when this is done. So if you want to ask questions or say I'm interested in one of these, we hope you'll take a couple of minutes on the way out the door We're getting closer to wrapping up into the preview that Mr. Lear has. So we want to give time for you to do that and help join us, and again, make this a great program. And, just so you know, it's not all gloom and doom. It's like I'm here to do my volunteer work. Folks really do have fun doing this. I have a ton of fun. I was a prop dad this year with Ryan and Derek and Dom and John and some of the other guys out there. We had a great time volunteering and moving stuff. Great way to get in shape if you're not feeling it, and you can do that. And sorry, Dylan, honorary prop dad. So and then if you're not one of those folks that can be out in front, if you're like uncomfortable, handling concession transactions and things like that, there's plenty to do behind the scenes. I wanted to highlight some of these people. This is Nicole Darden on the left, Ruben Melendez here in the center, Mindy, who's joining us again. Sorry, I stalked her Facebook earlier.
I noticed that. Excuse me?
I couldn't find one of Christy, our previous treasurer. But anyway, these folks do a tremendous amount of work, and if you don't know how much work goes in behind the scenes, just ask me, because I have learned a lot since January. But there are plenty of things to do if you want to help keep uniforms updated. If you like doing laundry, and you can wash uniforms, that's something for you. Just pick them up, you take them home, you bring them back. So there are plenty of ways to help if you're not one of those that likes to be out in front of people, things you can do behind the scenes. So we really do hope that you'll join us. And again, I just want to publicly thank Ruben, Nicole, Andy, Christy, and my current EC now with Ryan and Tasha joining that. So a lot of stuff goes into it. We hope that you'll join us. Ryan, you want to make a plug right quick for trailers? This is a unique opportunity that we have. And then we'll turn it to Mr. Lear.
Yeah, so if you had a truck and you're able to tow a trailer, you're 5,000 pounds, you got the wiring and a brake controller, please come talk to me. This is one of the ways we get all of our stuff to the shows, and getting these trucks is the fourth most important thing we do, but it's definitely up there. So come find me. I'll also be talking about prop builds and all the fun stuff that we do. So I'll be out there afterwards, or shoot me an email. But that's the nuts and bolts of this. And here you go.
Right. I want to turn it over to Mr. Lear. We have a few slides that we're just going to skip over because, again, the dates are in this weekend band and they're on the calendar. So in the interest of time, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Lear.
Great. Before, I was sitting there thinking about, it was several speakers ago, about the benefits of being in the program, and you get a lot out of different programs. My kid personally is with the Woodstock baseball team, and there's a family and a bond that's shared with that. But I had earlier today, there's 152 kids in the gymnasium right now having a great time. And there were a lot of cases that really just kind of touched the staff and I, but one kid runs up to me just before I came down here and he goes, I was in 8th grade, and he goes, Mr. Lear, I gotta tell you, I've never been a part of anything like this. This is so cool. And I said, really? He said, this is the kicker. I promise I'm not making this up. He said, I can't remember the last time I've had this much fun. And I was like, dude, okay, all right. Welcome. So, it is, and for 8th grade, it's tough to get out there and put yourself out there and meet the new high school students. All my high school kids want these 8th grade. So if you're an 8th grade parent, we want you to be a part of the family. So here we go. So each year our show has various themes to it. Last year we did Peace, Love, and Music. Had a ton of fun. And we're kind of in a vein right now, entertaining. Let's not go artistic with our shows, at least not at this stage in my teaching. Let's just really entertain the audience. Let's have a good time and fun. We don't have to do a show about the elements of the periodic table. How boring is that? Okay, and we've seen those shows and we've been, okay, that was interesting. All right, good job. But so this year we're going to Beetlejuice, and little did we know, we did kind of, once we got into it, that Beetlejuice Part 2 is coming out, the movie. So Michael Keaton and those guys, they're coming out with the Part 2. The musical was just in Atlanta. So if you think we had fun last year on the field, just wait until you see what we've got in store this year. We've had meetings ever since we got finished with marching season. The very next month, we started meeting. and having like 2.5, 3 hour meetings at various staff's houses. And we have done nothing but poured a ton into this. So the uniform that we wore last year was in the theme of the show. So we have this beautiful uniform in our closet that we will eventually go back to. But as we chose Beetlejuice, we thought Beetlejuice in that beautiful uniform that's hanging in the uniform room just won't sell it as well as another year of doing the tops. So we got together on this, and while the color guards uniforms are still in sketch mode because they're in winter guard season and the person who does it is actually in Dayton, Ohio, we said, all right, let's commit to what the horn line, the drums, and the rest of the band is going to wear. So in our black member pants and shoes, we have chose what our uniform top is going to look like. So what you're looking at is a one-piece uniform with a side drop cape that goes down the side. If you follow drum corps in DCI, it is kind of the trend, if you have fashion trends in the world of marching arts, to have the cape, because as you whip around and do, the underside of the cape is lined in that lime green. And if you look, you'll actually be able to see, as an added little bonus, these little beetles. They're actually, it's a pattern kind of thing. The left sleeve is actually missing, so you have a full arm on the right. The left has a long black gauntlet. It is a half sleeve and gauntlet. This is also, because I know you keep up with what's fashion trends in marching band, this is actually on trend with what a lot of our colleges and DCI drum corps groups are doing now. So this lovely look and design with the Beetlejuice black and white stripes and the green is part of our color palette for the field. As you know, we had a psychedelic color palette kind of going last year. Our color palette this year will involve some of the colors of blacks and whites and greens. And you'll get a little bit of red in there for, how many of you have seen the musical? Has anybody? Okay, so the wedding dress that Lydia wore, that's going to be some inspiration for some of the uniforms for the guard. So we're really looking forward to that.
This is.
Oh, okay. Now we're on the breakout session. Some of the people that have been sitting over here are some of the staff. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring all the parents who have students who play a wind instrument. You blow into it, if you will. You're going to come up here. If you are a color guard parent, you're going to go to the back left corner. If you are a percussion parent, you're going to go to the back right corner. Some of my staff is going to give you additional information that relates specific to that group. Okay? So we are going to, do you want to say anything? So we're going to have this breakout real quick, and you're probably going to see me run to the gym just before 8 o'clock, but I will run back down here because I want to say goodbye to the students and be a part of their dismissal. Okay, so thank you guys very much. Wind players, color guard, percussion. Thank you.